nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moment of silence for men and women in uniform, please. Thank you. Did you have a good holiday, Mark?
Thank you, yes.
Good, good. Adjustments to the agenda, John, anything?
Not tonight.
I need a motion to approve the minutes of November 4th, please.
Make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from November 4th, 2019 as written.
Second.
Any changes, comments? Those who attended, could you please give me, that's two. Who else was here?
So Donnie, Ethan, and I.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are you happy to say yes to that?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
3 approved. November 18th.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the Monday, November 18th regular meeting minutes with any corrections or revisions.
Need a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any changes, comments? All in favor? Four yes, 1 abstain. Public to speak for non-agenda, Karen, did you have a nice holiday?
I did, thank you.
Good, thanks for coming to the meeting. Non-agenda items. Mark, Karen, anything? Okay, thank you. Boards and committees. We have, for the first reading, I assume everybody on the board got a chance to take a look at that. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I will tell you both that the rat van, as we've known it in the past, is now, has a new name, RREOC.
No, that's the Rangeley Region Economic
Oh,
Opportunity.
oh, yeah.
Hold on,
Those are
hold
minutes.
on. Yep, I'm going.
Bless you.
Let's back up again. Yep, this letter is to give you an update on current projects sent to us by Kate Williamson, Laura Reynolds, Linda Dexter, and Dawn Fields. Basically, it's all available to you if you'd all like to read the whole thing, but it talks about the strategy that they use for economic development, CDA grants, so on and so forth. Written to John. From them, they've been doing a lot of work. I attended a number of these things earlier. Cindy was there. I don't know if you other guys were there, but for any of these, but they've done a lot of work for the scenic byway tours, Franklin County tours, dark sky destination certification, position Rangeley for unique competitive Maine tourism markets, adapt our marketing efforts, build excitement about Rangeley's future, etc. They've done a lot of work and they've been at it all summer. Do you have anything, because I know you attended some of those as well.
Yeah, do I do it.
Okay, all right, so this is available to you. Let me get back here. I know I'm gonna get this acronym screwed up with it. I was sad to see them get rid of rat, but I understand.
It's still gonna be called the Rat Man until
Yep.
we're gone.
Consent items, liquor license, Helene Catering LLC, 45th Parallel Wood Fire Grill.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the liquor license renewal application for Heller Catering LLC, doing business as the 45th Parallel Wood-Fired Grill.
Second.
Any questions for that one? Hearing none, all in favor? We've been asked to sign this now because Randy is going to come along and gather it up. He's going to take somebody to the hospital tomorrow, and he'd like to take it with him.
Okay.
While we're waiting for that, consent, Blue Orchids license.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the liquor license renewal application for the Blue Orchid.
Second?
All the i's are dotted and t's are crossed. Any comments, questions? All in favor? Thank you. Event permit, Walk to Bethlehem, RFA.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the event permit application presented by the Rangeley Friends of the Arts for the Walk to Bethlehem scheduled for December 8th, 2019.
Second.
All in favor? No opposed, thank you. Rangeley Lake Snowmobile Club, Rock Maple Cross Country, and Tame the Track Race.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the event permit application for the Rangeley Lake Snowmobile Club for the Rock Maple Cross Country and Tame the Track Snowmobile Race to be held at Stephen A. Bean Airport on January 25th, 2020.
Second?
Questions? All in favor? We'll move. Vendor's license, Rangeley Lake Snowmobile Club.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the vendor's license for the Rangeley Lake Snowmobile Club for 25th of January, is that right?
Yep.
Should be 2020.
After dark? Oh,
No.
7 a.m. till dark.
Correct.
Sorry.
Need a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions, comments?
Cindy just said that it says 19 should be the 2020?
The day and hour of operation. They just need to revise that.
Yep, 120. Good point. Did you get that? Okay. All in favor? Thank you. You just got your license. You're all set.
We're done.
You done already?
Yeah.
Correspondence.
No, you have to stay now.
Lock the doors.
You're 7 minutes late. We had 7 items on the agenda. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I'm a few minutes late, I'm sorry, my man. I do the best I can.
That's why I come.
Not the end of the world here.
Next is correspondence, Lifelight Foundation. Give me a moment. We received a thank you letter. We got a short meeting, I'd like to get through it. Dear residents of Rangeley, this is from Lifelight Foundation. It says, thank you, in bold letters. You just made Maine a safer place to visit, work, and play. Your gift will help Lifelight bring our flying hospital to someone who is critically ill or injured when they most need us. Your contribution helps people like Mindy Sprague, who experienced a horrific accident when she was crushed between a train car and a loading dock while at work at a train yard in Maine. While stuck, she was unable to breathe. Once freed, her blood pressure bottomed out more than once, indicating serious internal bleeding. As soon as Lifelight arrived to transport her to a specialty care, our clinical crew was able to administer blood since we carry it on every flight. Although Mindy sustained injuries to her liver, her spleen, kidney, and pancreas, along with multiple major fractures, she has made a remarkable recovery and has returned to her life much as it was before the accident. You make second chances possible. We are profoundly grateful to you for believing that every person in Maine deserves to have a second chance at survival. And then on the side it says, Town of Rangeley, thank you again for partnering with Lifelight to save lives in Maine. We are deeply grateful, Tori. We thank them for their participation. Now to the former rat ban. It's a lengthy document. I'm assuming everybody got an opportunity to go through it.
Yep.
All right, let's start with any comments, changes, questions you have.
We know who came up with this?
Paul New and crew.
Yeah.
No. Tracy
That girl.
Tracy
There.
J.
Okay,
Pitt
now we're done.
Lavoy.
Take the credit.
This at all.
He didn't help you at all?
Didn't know how to design any policy development either.
Okay.
It's a
Oh, I
sailing
was
program.
misinformed then.
It's the only program in the state of Maine, so it's
Great.
just kind of like really creating the wheel.
Oh, I was under the assumption he went and got a lot of help with this, and
No.
nice job.
He did.
This is really a nice job.
He does a great job.
Yeah, well, we never had a,
Yep, Tracy, great job.
never
Yes,
had
sir.
one this.
So Tracy, regarding like the keeping track of the driver component here in paragraph 3, is that something the coordinator does? Or, I mean, is there any spillover on you at all?
All we do is we do the MVR check and make sure that they have a clean driving record, that they don't have infractions like hit and run or assault or, anything like that on their record. And then Paul keeps a spreadsheet, logs their miles, their trips, any kind of complaint or comments that people have about it. But every so often, he'll give me a copy of that spreadsheet. So it's all very well documented. We have the files. They did not require that from me.
And we're gonna keep all the paperwork and everything here?
Yep. Yeah, I have a file on each one of the drivers. I've always had a file on the drivers.
I think Cindy brings up a good point about the sheet that, I think you should have the sheet, I don't remember seeing that, correct me if I'm wrong, but a list of all of the current drivers.
We have a file.
You have that file.
Yes, we have a
Should it be
file.
part of this document?
So he fills out the paper, he gives them the paperwork, it's a one-page form that they fill out, and then I have the police chief I take a photocopy of the driver's license, and the police chief does a MVR check on them, and then I keep a file in my office along with other personnel files and stuff. So it's, the files on everything.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? And we'll consider this our first reading. What do we need a second one for if we all like it?
Great.
Policy.
Since we didn't have much before.
Alrighty, thank you. Depot Street, Kingfield Cash Fuel Cleanup. We received a request from Mr. Beauregard about the quality of the property. We have several documents that are available for you, Mark, to see that talk about how DE spent over $600,000 cleaning the site. We have sign-offs from DEP and a number of other agencies. So as far as they're concerned and we're concerned, or at least John and I, after reviewing all this, the property is in great shape.
Thank you.
And there's also-
That was my question.
No.
John said he had some documentation. And I
Yep.
was
Well, the
just
documentation
curious
is quite
if
lengthy,
it was
actually.
from the DEP or the EPA, or somebody that job was to monitor these things. So
Yep.
That's good news.
One last point before I move to the next topic. In perusing all of this documentation, should something come up in the future, there's still $1 million policy that can be dipped into for future cleanup should something arise. But remember too that this property has town sewer and also has water availability to it, so the likelihood of ever needing to worry about the quality of that soil is limited or none, because it'll be a parking lot. But thanks for the question.
Okay.
Yep.
Because there are surrounding wells and things like that.
No.
One thing leads to another sometimes when these things go
Yep.
bad.
Anything under new business, John? No. Anything on the board of new business? Town manager report. We have a number of department heads, from Tom Lillis to the police chief. Been busy from some and quiet for others. Welcome. Make any comments on those if you'd like. We'll begin setting budget dates and times. When do you want to do that? I mean, we have them down, but we need to fine tune it.
Yeah, we gave you a sample of, what we
Yep.
had done last year. We can start as soon as you like. I think in January is when we get to sit down with the department heads and start going through their budget.
If it would be all right with you and the board, I'll come in and sit down with you and Tracy, and we'll give the board at our next meeting a definitive date and let them look at that so we know what the dates are, get it on the calendar, find out who can and can't be at those dates. Is that good with you all? Mm-hmm. You had a question, Cindy?
Yeah, I just, for Tom Willis's summary, I noticed that there was a public hearing or public comment period for the American Cell Tower for any, for the Bald Mountain site, for any concerns, environmental concerns. Did Tom find anything worthy to submit, or, I mean, I noticed that they reached out to him.
I'm not sure. When I talked to him about it, he said something about his restrictions. He told the developer that there's restrictions on the height of the tower and it can't go beyond the height of the trees. And Steve says the original was already above the height of the trees.
That's not true. Ed went out there with a balloon and put it up in the air when they first did that tower, and the trees were all a lot lower than they are now, so they've all grown up around it, which is
Okay, so
affecting
the
the
height
use of the tower itself.
The height of the balloon, not the height of the trees. Okay.
They put it up and then looked at it and made sure it was above the trees. So I've had this conversation with Ed, it's funny, you and I were just talking about this. And I don't believe there's any restrictions on height, according to the
No height
Rangeley Heritage
restrictions.
Trust, right?
On the original,
Tom's thing says there's deed restrictions through the Heritage Trust and all that, so he's notified people that there are issues.
There are issues, but I don't believe there's height issues. You have to go through the trust in order to get it approved.
and I think he referred the development to the trust.
Anything else?
No, just a suggestion, if this is something that is beneficial to the town, when the time comes for, a letter of support, if the board feels it's appropriate, it might be worth doing. I mean, right now, they just asked for environmental feedback. But if this, is something that, certainly will help either our first responders or just service in general, we should support it.
I think US Cellular uses that one.
And Verizon.
And Verizon.
And Verizon.
Now Verizon has this one,
Mm-hmm.
T1, T-Mobile,
AT&T.
AT&T.
I'm gonna use the one that was just put in up on the cemetery.
Yep. Yep.
That's all.
The height is restricted, though, obviously, south side of town, Bull Mountain Road.
Yeah, from virtually, you turn the corner on the Cary Road down, it's limited. Even though the tower is almost visible, but it's very limited down there.
Goes right over.
Yep.
I used to be able to see the tower at my house, and now all trees you can't see
Yep.
anything.
Yeah, I haven't got any letter or anything asking for support yet.
No, they just had a publication announcing, a request for feedback, if there were any environmental concerns, so. Yeah, so it's not time yet.
I'll ask Tom if he's responded to the,
Yep.
I know he's responded to the company, but.
From a historical standpoint, if they had left the old fire tower up there, you'd have had pretty clear vision, because you could see for miles with that. That was way above the trees when I was a kid. Of course, now it's, much different, but, yeah. Anything else?
Those trees are 50 years older.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Good job.
Anything else?
See if it gets in the minutes.
Ooh. It's a tough crowd here tonight. I want to thank you for that.
I don't know if us are older than others.
Always good when my hearing aids don't work.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah, we have a letter from the treasurer about the forced account. Forced account. Please see the highlighted area on the next page from the FAA. It states that anything over our 5% has to be considered airport revenue. When we receive the 100% funding, the total forced account amount is now over our share, since we did not have one, and must be considered airport revenue and cannot be used for anything other than airport use. This letter has been sent to the board previously. The highlighted area in the letter from Luke Garrison. Total reimbursement amount for the force account work has been estimated $547,080. $547,080. This will exceed the total local share for this project. As a result, all excess funds must be considered airport revenue and may not be used for anything other than airport use. No, we've had a lot of discussion about this thing. One thing that we keep forgetting, not only did they give us 100% funding, which didn't give us any expenditure, but the state didn't have to pay anything either. Their 5% was gobbled up in that. So that's $1.2 million. And then we earned some money with our share after that. So this is It's a boondoggle for Rangeley. It's absolutely fabulous. Oh, yeah.
So the only question that I had is that this letter isn't dated. It said, it looks like it was an initial letter when we needed to put up our 5%. So in the first paragraph, it says, "We've received your request dated July 30th, 2018. Because you have to ask, you have to get permission from the FAA to use, you know, for approval of a force account towards your 5%. So, and the point that was raised the last time was, or at our last meeting, was that, well, you know, that 5% changed, and we got notification of our 100% funding in September, at our second meeting in September of 2018. And so that's where that's where the confusion is. It's a lot of money. That this letter appears to be, yes, you've been approved for your force account based on your application or request dated July 30th, which is 2 months prior to us being awarded the omnibus grant. So I don't know if you'd be willing just to ask Luke Garrison if there's an update to this. Everything.
Yeah, you know what, what caught my eye, the $547,080, that was our estimated 5% at the time.
Yeah.
But the actual check we received is $630, I reported it a few meetings ago, it was $600,000.
And that's what triggered this whole discussion.
5%.
Yeah, and that's what triggered this whole discussion, was that was the checks, was that final amount that we were getting. And
you know what I think? It may not be, but I can only surmise that since they gave us 100%, they funded the DOT share and our share, which is over $1 million combined. And that would have increased their, our 5% share of crushed rock from Chick Hill to the 600,000. Plus there were a couple of change orders as well, so that total package, if they were just going percentages, that seemed to me to be in the ballpark at 630,000. Can't remember exactly the number, but it's in that
Well,
range.
originally it was gonna be like 10, and the 5% would have been on the 10, then we ended up at 12 something. So the 5% was down to 600 and something.
Yeah, so, and then on top of that, we billed Sergeant for the excess material to finish the job that they would have had to buy somewhere else. They used the Chick Hill stuff, and then we got 400 and something thousand that we can use for any project that we need.
so, but do you understand what I'm trying to say here with this letter, that now, I mean, when we needed the 5%, they're like, yeah, we'll reimburse you $1.41 for embankment materials only, et cetera, et cetera. And so, okay, yes, so we've been approved, this letter, yes, you've been approved for force account funds for your 5%. And so, but we didn't need a force account once we got the 100%. There was no 5% match.
And they graciously gave us,
Yes, exactly.
in terms of dollars to use for future airport projects.
But-
They could have said no, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, so to try to further clarify, so they bought material from the town of Rangeley.
Right.
So the question was, since we didn't need to contribute our 5%, does that money belong to the taxpayers to vote on how they choose to spend it? That's because of that change, John, this letter,
Good question, but you know what, in the, I believe, I don't know what the exact wording is, but in your town meeting with all the articles you vote on.
Mhm.
And I believe one of them says to put in grants and accept grants and implement the grants according to the wishes of this grant provider. So I don't know how that would, if they're giving us that money and telling us we have to use it for airport projects.
But I'm not seeing that they have, okay? I guess that's my point. So we have this letter from Luke Garrison, which applied
Yeah.
to the town when we needed our 5% funds. So we didn't have to write a check or
Right.
ask the taxpayers to come up with that money. So I guess I'm just, and we've got some very expensive projects coming up that may or may not get approved
Yeah.
by,
Oh, I understand that.
so, which have grant monies attached to them that, anyway.
We've seen this letter before.
Yes, this, when,
When, in the beginning.
in the beginning,
Yeah.
in the very beginning,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I wanna know if there's an update.
Yeah, I guess that's,
Well, the update certainly would include a new amount of money. It's a lot more than the five, it's like almost $100,000 more than the 547. It's in the 630, I think.
We need to ask that question again and see what they come up with.
it just, I mean, if
I would
if Luke
think.
Garrison's our guy,
It's 2 years old almost.
I guess that's,
Well, he signed a letter, he's with FAA, I presume?
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
It's like Vicky said,
Can't hurt to ask.
Right.
And his last sentence is, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. You can put his phone number there.
there you go.
I guess we can ask him.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so we should be, you want John to ask Rebecca to get back in touch and see if there's an update with us?
I'd like John to ask for an update.
Yeah, I'll call his what the concerns are.
Yeah,
I mean, what
Just
can we
to
really
see
do
if
with
there's
this
an
money?
update to this.
Yeah,
That's all. It's a lot of money,
yeah.
I mean, it may be the same, but
maybe
you
the
never
same,
know.
but
And the
This-
project has changed since.
Yeah. it's all I'm asking.
We got more money and, this includes the 547, so.
All right, you got a question, Mark?
Yes, I would like to encourage you folks to ask this Luke Garrison that question. I mean, this
Yep.
is in chicken feed, it's $600,000, and as I mentioned at the last meeting, it doesn't seem logical to me that the FAA could control non-airport property, that the town's selling material off, and dictate where that money goes. It just doesn't make sense. So I by all means, I 100% agree that you should ask the question again, and pretty much that way, once we got 100% funding, is the town still required to take material from non-airport property and apply the revenue from that to the airport fund? And see what that Luke Garrison has to say, I think, and then we'd have the answer.
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick one? Everybody's been driving up to the airport road. What are we gonna do about all those rocks and shale that ends up in the middle of the road on that corner? I'm just saying, someone's gonna blow a tire. I've traveled up against that. Who's responsible for that? Is that the town, or what should we do? Because everybody's driven there. They all know what I'm talking about. I watched everybody laugh when I said that. What are we gonna do about it?
It's
Needs
part
a
of the
shoulder
bunch.
is what it needs, a tarred shoulder.
It does. No, I think, I agree. I'm just saying.
Now,
What's happening is the tractor trailers going up through there, the rear end of the trailers are dragging in the.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that one, because I'm gonna tell you right now, nope, I'm not gonna tell you, because there was a couple corners there on that first corner when you hit, you know as well as I do. There's some big rocks in that road that someone's gonna get a tire punctured or something else, so. I'm not sure who's responsible for that, if it's us or the town, or,
But they're being pulled out of the shoulder by the back wheels of the trailers that are going around those corners.
I've seen them.
Bill, it's part of the punch list. It's not gonna be dealt with this fall.
no, I know,
It will be in
I'm
the
just bringing
spring.
it up, I'm just throwing it out there, my man, I got no issues, I'm just saying, it's a problem. We probably need
It's
to deal
part,
with it.
all right, let me finish. It's part of the punch list, that's one of the half a dozen things that need to be repaired by Sergeant. And there is we're holding back a bunch of money there, so it will be fixed. Whether it's a tard, I don't know, but that will be discussed again. But thank you for,
Perfect, thank
Yeah.
you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yep,
I think we're holding back 10%.
10%.
Over $1 million.
yep,
So all that
Yep.
taken care of.
What else is on the punch list?
I asked the question a couple weeks ago. We've got that issue there. The entranceway into the Chick Hill Road, that also needs to be dealt with there. There's a tar issue there. And then there's some other drainage, minor stuff up on the skirts of the airport, so. I don't remember them all, Cindy.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
I don't think it's a
just kinda
huge
getting-
list, though. Yeah.
I didn't realize the road was on the punch list, and it is, yeah,
Oh, yeah?
so that's good.
Yep. Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, if it isn't, it's gonna be out tonight.
So once it's been disclosed,
No,
for now.
well, when this all
what?
first started happening, Bill, I'll tell you right now, I talked with Adam and the crew up there at Sergeant, because we're having construction meetings every week, and he balked a little bit on this thing, because the material that they put in there is too rough a grade, in my opinion, not compactable. I think somebody went in there with a roller one day, that did work a little while, but John is right, like it or not, one tractor trailer truck hooks a wheel in there, it hauls shit
Oh,
out
I
of there.
know, no, I understand.
You got a question?
I think the mouth of the Chick Hill Road, they actually came back up after they had left the site and worked for a day, putting crushed gravel on Chick Hill and the entrance to
Oh,
Winterway and
yep.
grading it all, so I think they fixed
They
that
might have
part
fixed
of it.
that one,
So I
yeah.
think it's just the shoulder that's left that, with the
Is that
coarse
one-
material.
What are they reporting to you on the airport commission? I know you're not the chairman, but what are they telling you for the punch list?
We've never had
Okay.
discussed anything
Yep.
on this airport project after it started at the airport commission.
Okay, select board I'm sorry, anything else? On the select board communications, anything?
There's a meeting is it Saturday at 1 at Saddleback?
11, they changed
They
it.
changed it to 11 a.m. Okay, the base lodge. So you hear what they have to say?
We'll see.
Actually, there's a meeting here at
9:45 Friday. 9:45 Friday.
9:45 on Friday with Arc Terrace, number of the people in the area. I mean, any meeting that I attend is public, so welcome to come sit in. Yep. Anything else? Hate to do this. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Yahoo.
Yeah.
What happened to hurry up and sign the